I guess does heavyweight make for a better fight week? Is it a little bit easier to not have to think about weight cutting at all?
I mean, to be honest, I was looking forward for the weight cut. I was telling people last Tuesday I weighed in at 223, so the weight cut was going to be like I would have came in yesterday about like 219, so the weight cut would have been easy for me. But given the last minute opponent change, I even thought about it for a minute. I was like, when my manager Oren presented me the heavyweight offer, I was like, no, and then I slept on it for a night, woke up the next day, and I was like, all right, I can do that.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Like when the opponent changed up, did you start saying, well, maybe this isn't the right thing for me?
Not necessarily. Like I said, I tell people always ask me, like, would you go back to the heavyweight division? I was like, if an opportunity presents itself, I would entertain it. The fact of the matter is, like, for my first heavyweight fight, I fought Big Ben. And, I was thinking to myself, like, during weigh-ins, I was like, he don't look that big. Then we got in the octagon, I was like, oh, shoot, he's actually pretty big. And, like, you don't realize, like, those guys are really, really hard to move. Like, you can move them probably the first or second time, but then after that, they hard to move. So, given that, Tanner's not a bigger heavyweight, I was like, yes, I'm going to entertain this possibility.
All right, so you're ruling it out moving forward, or we're done with that?
Yeah.
All right, nice. What do you think about the matchup here? I mean, obviously, it is a late switch up. I mean, did you think about the stylistic? I mean, did that factor into your decision?
It did. He's definitely more of an active heavyweight on the feet. Like, he throws a lot of kicks, throws a lot of punches. He moves well. His ground game is kind of up in the air, but other than that, he hits hard too. I know he's never been finished. So that's the thing that I got to watch out for. If I clip him, I just can't jump on him right away because I know he's not one of the guys that's going to end up, being finished or whatnot. But also too. Even with that heavyweight division, I think my power transfers over pretty well in the heavyweight division. So I think it's going to be one of those fights where even he's like, okay, he's coming up from a light heavyweight division. I'm going to try to pressure him. I think if I can put my hands on him, he'll probably take a step back and be like, okay, he got a little bit of power.
Nice. I don't know if you've interacted with him. He's like really pissed off. He's coming in with like a chip on his shoulder, not at you, but he's just got like this chip on his shoulder. Have you seen that from him at all? And does that factor in anything?
It don't. I mean, it don't at all. It's just like, I'm just going to go there and do my job. It's just like, I never met the guy before, so he can't be pissed off at me. If he want to take it out on me, so be it. It's not going to be easy. So if anything, it might be worse for him anyways.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think like maybe you could take advantage? I almost wonder if you kind of want to get up in his face at the face-offs or something to try to mess with him a little bit just to get his temper way out of line.
I mean, that's not my personality, but at the end of the day, like, if you get in my face, I'm not going to back out at all.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess, what kind of fight are you expecting here? I mean, it seems like it could be kind of a fun one, kind of a left field one, So what kind of fight do you expect here?
Don't know. Like, I would say how we want to finish the fight, but every time I say that, like, the fight I finish the fight in a whole different fashion. So, I just want to be an exciting fight and put myself back on the win track.
Amen. Because of his size, is this basically like a light heavyweight fight that you both aren't cutting weight for? Because he's probably about the same size as you.
Probably so, but I'm more of a light heavyweight than he is. So you can look at the body type. I'm more of a light heavyweight than he is.
When you fought Ben, did you know that night that, okay, I'm not experimenting with these bigger guys anymore? Like, they're just too tough to move around.
There's a difference between like not experimenting with him. It's just like, with the heavyweight division, when you jump into a different weight class, when you go up, you want to fight one of the smaller guys within that weight class. I fought one of the bigger guys within that weight class. I also fought one of the guys who fought 7 champs in that weight class. So that lets you know he's been around for a really, really long time. But even with that, it's just like you kind of experience now, but like, okay, that's when you kind of realize size does make a difference.
Is it a tough division to jump into as well? Because you can get a guy at 230, but you can also get a guy at 265, right? There's a big variety there.
It's not even 265. He's a guy that's 280 that cuts down to 265. Yeah. That's a big difference.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time, OSP. If you hypothetically win or a good performance, are we sticking around to heavyweight, or it was just the opportunity presented itself, like you said?
Opportunity presented itself. By trade, I am a light heavyweight, But if the opportunity presents itself, I will entertain the heavyweight division.
And that's excellent because that gives you opportunity to get 2 checks instead of 1. You know, you could go back and forth. How's 205? Once you head back down there, what are the names you would be looking at, or how's that landscape for you?
It really doesn't matter. And, you know, at this point in time, it's just like I felt like even this fight against Maxim, it was a really good fight. You know, he's definitely active. He's one of those guys that's been around for a really long time, like his style, and he's one of the bigger 205 pounders too. So I was looking forward to a really entertaining fight, but things happen, so and I can't complain about that.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.